Hello everyone, I'm happy to be making a delicious part of your plant-based Thanksgiving. It's vegan shepherd's pie and it's vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, but it's super delicious, really healthy, really yummy, really easy to make. There's just a few steps and I'll show you how to do that now, but I am sure that you and your guests will love it, and it's a very hearty and healthy dish to make. Good comfort food. So I've already boiled my potatoes. We're going to be putting a mashed potato topping over this delicious pie, which is the traditional as well. It's just that we're going to use legumes, lentils, and peas instead of meat. So perfect, win-win. So I've got a pan getting hot with some olive oil. And I've got some carrots cut up that I'm going to add them. And we're going to let them cook for a little bit. And the potatoes have already cooked, so I'm just going to drain the potatoes. And we will get those going right now because we're going to make mashed potatoes, which is super yummy. I'm just going to drain these. And we're just going to add them back to the pan. And we are going to add our butter. I've got some good earth balanced butter here that I really like. And some plant milk. I've got my Oatly. And we're going to add a little salt to that too. I did add some salt to the water, but I just want to add a little more salt to that. And we're just going to kind of mix it around, and then I'm going to use a potato ricer, which is really great for making mashed potatoes. It makes them really fluffy. You can also use a hand mixer or mash them with a masher by hand. Those are also good options. But I just really like the texture of the potato ricer. And it's just a really great gadget. So I'll show you how to use that. See, it's just this fun little gadget here, and you put the potatoes in and it pushes it through these holes, and you can adjust the size of the holes. But it's just really a great way to make mashed potatoes. So I'm gonna probably spoon this better. And you can just get a few in at a time. So I'll do it in portions, but I'll show you how that goes. Because sometimes you can over-mix the mashed potatoes with the beater, so this way kind of prevents you from doing that. We're just going to keep an eye on these carrots. Just want to get them tender before we continue with the other ingredients. Okay. And you can just kind of rest it over your pot. Like that, and just push it down, and that's all. And you just do it a few times until you're done with all your potatoes. And you can use russet potatoes. I used yellow potatoes, and you're just going to want to peel them and cut them into about 1-inch pieces and boil them for about 8 to 10 minutes until they're soft. But really, the mashed potato stuffing makes this dish really super yummy. Who doesn't love mashed potatoes? And you can't tell the difference using plant-based butter and plant-based milk. It's still got a nice creaminess. Super delish. Really easy. And this is dishwasher safe too, so I really love this gadget. And that's it. Really easy. All that makes a little bit of a mess, but it's really worth it, I'm telling you. Had this for a long time, this gadget. Okay. Just put that aside. Check on these carrots so they don't burn. Okay, while the carrots are continuing to soften up a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and add our chopped garlic and let that get to just slightly brown to cook that through a little bit. And here's the potatoes. They're fluffy already, and it really does such a great job. I love it. I really love using this gadget, but okay, super yum. We'll just kind of mix that around a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and slowly add my vegetable broth. I have about a cup. Okay. And we're just going to warm that up and let everything blend together. This is a really great fall dish, and I love to make it for the holidays. You can make it any time of year, but it's especially comfort food during the colder months. But anybody looking for a healthy, plant-based Thanksgiving, it's a great family dinner, easy family meal, very inexpensive and very healthy. All those boxes it checks. And, you know, sometimes if you prefer to have this over like a store-bought item, it's always great if you can make your own food, I agree. It's really worth it. Okay, now what I'm also going to do is add in to thicken up the sauce a little bit. I've got a couple of tablespoons of flour. You can use gluten-free flour, which this whole dish is gluten-free if you'd like. I'm just using regular flour here. Just thickens up the sauce, makes it a nice gravy. And use whatever vegetable stock you like. Okay, we're just gonna blend that in there. I have a little over a cup of lentils, cooked lentils. I have brown lentils here. Brown or green lentils work really well. We're gonna mix that in. Each layer starts to build it to make it such a delicious meal. It really is super yummy. Okay, and then I have a cup of cooked peas. You could probably get away with really just lightly thawing them because they're going to cook in the oven. Add a little salt. Depending on your vegetable broth, some are really salty, kind of depends how much salt you want to add to this. Going to add some fresh thyme. You can use dried. I love fresh thyme. Just has a really earthy, nice flavor. Goes very well in this sort of, I'm going to call a stew, basically, because it really is like a stew at this point. Just add in some of those pretty leaves. Couple sprigs. I'm kind of generous with the thyme. And yeah, they're like super tiny leaves, but they have a lot of flavor. And they add a lot of flavor to dishes. Yeah, pretty. Love it. Okay. And you'll just use less of the thyme if you're using dried, because that's more intense, so you just don't want to use as much of that. It smells so good. Okay. Excellent. So that's off. Okay, so now I'm going to take my pie plate, just your standard size pie plate. I'm going to put the filling in here, and then I'm going to top it with the mashed potatoes. But what you also want to do is when you're putting it in the oven, put it on top of a tin foil or parchment lined cookie sheet, just to prevent any of the gravy, the filling bubbling over, because that almost always happens to me. So just to keep an easy cleanup and not have a mess in your oven and everything else, I would just do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and put my sheet down now. Okay. So I'm just going to pour the gravy into the pie plate. The filling, I should say, not gravy. The filling has a nice gravy in it, a very nice rich sauce. really hearty, really, really yummy. And I find that people that even don't like beans that much like lentils, and lentils are so inexpensive and healthy. So here's what I have. I've got our pie with the filling, and then now I'm going to gently top it with, let's see, I guess we can use this spoon, our mashed potatoes. So I'm just gonna kind of do dollops of it because it's, you know, a little bit heavy going on top of the filling there. Just kind of do it little by little rather than dumping it all on top. And then I'll smooth it out. You could also do a cauliflower potato mash if you would like. That would also be a really great option. Like a split potato and cauliflower together. That would work as well. And then I'm just going to kind of gently cover the topping, or the filling rather, to make our topping. Okay. And what I like to do is take a fork and just kind of make some lines around the potatoes, because then when it bakes it gets like a nice crust on top. It's really so yummy. The texture is really great. I'm going to put this in a 350-degree oven for about 20 to 30 minutes. I'm going to check on it after 20 and see if it's done. Be right back. Okay, I've got my beautiful shepherd's pie that has been in the oven for, actually I did a little longer. I did it more like 45 minutes because I wanted to get it a nice golden brown crust on the top with the potatoes, and it looks and smells so good. It has a nice little crust when the potatoes are cooked a little bit more, and then the inside is softer and has that great savory flavor. So I can't wait to take a bite. And you don't have to really cut it like a pie exactly, because it's, you know, it is a little softer than that and not as much form, but I'm just going to use a spoon here to cut myself a nice wedge. Look at that, it looks super yummy. All good things: carrots, lentils, peas, potatoes. Yum. What's not to love? That. Hot still. Gotta get some of that potato. Smells so good. Super, super delish. Oh my gosh. And healthy. I mean, can't go wrong. Perfect for Thanksgiving as the main course with lots of great plant-based sides and a nice, good comfort food on a chilly evening. Everything about it is just really, really great, I think. So I hope you make some at home for yourselves. Cheers.